Hello, everyone. I'm Lori Sams. My curriculum plan is called Art Now, and it is designed as a 6-week unit of study for high school students to be taught at a community art center. Sessions would be held after school once a week for 1.5 hours each, with a total of 6 sessions. The unit theme is creativity. Throughout the unit, students will explore each of the studio habits of mind. By the end of the unit, students will demonstrate an understanding of the studio habits of mind as a framework for artists to base their studio practice on, the role that chance, risk, and failure play in the creative process, and how artists address social, cultural, and environmental issues through art. Lesson 1, Habits of an Artist, covers one session and serves as an introduction to the unit. To start the session, students will participate in a discussion with the instructor asking the questions: what do artists do? What does it mean to be an artist? What are the habits of an artist? After the discussion, students will watch the Brian Reverman video, What Do Artists Do? Developing the Habits of an Artist. For the activity, students will create sketchbooks made from repurposed books and explore the observed habit through drawings and/or annotated sketches. Moving forward, each session will begin with about 10 minutes of sketchbook time with a creative prompt. Students will also be encouraged to work in their sketchbooks on their own time. Lesson 2, Chance, Risk, and Failure in Art Making, From the Shadows to the Limelight, covers 2 sessions. Part 1 of the lesson starts with a group discussion where students will share their opinions on the role of chance, risk, and failure in the art making process. Students will then watch a presentation featuring contemporary artists Arturo Herrera, Claire B. Jones, and Lorna Simpson, as well as a brief overview of Dadaism and the movement's incorporation of chance into art making. For the project, students will make collages using Dadaist techniques based on chance, where pieces of paper are dropped and glued wherever they land. During the second session, students will work on a final project where they conceptualize and create an art piece that incorporates one or more elements of chance, risk, and/or failure. At the end of the session, students will share their projects and debrief the experience. Lesson 3, What Do Artists Make Art About, covers 3 sessions. During the first session, students will participate in a group discussion about what artists make art about and the different mediums artists choose to express their ideas. Students will watch a presentation about contemporary artists addressing social, cultural, and environmental issues through their artwork, including Olafur Eliasson, Adrian Brandon, Brenda Mallory, and James Lavador. Students will begin brainstorming for their final project, which is to conceptualize and create a project that addresses a social, cultural, or environmental issue of their choice using the medium of their choice. The second session will consist mainly of studio time with a pair and share feedback activity, as well as individual feedback time with the instructor. The third session, which is the final session of the unit, will consist of studio time to finish projects and a group critique. The image here was found online as an example of a high school art student's work about environmental issues. A variety of assessment strategies will be used throughout the unit. Lessons 1 and 2 will include formative assessment with individual feedback during studio time and an exit pass. Lesson 2 will also include a student progress log and a summative assessment during the group share activity at the end of the final project. Lesson 3 will include individual feedback during studio time, as well as 2 pair and share activities, one where students will discuss their preliminary ideas and sketches for their final project, and another during the second session of this lesson where students discuss their work in progress. The summative assessment for the unit will be a group critique at the end of the last session, as well as an exit pass that asks students to list out all of the studio habits of mind and if they think they'll continue to refer to the habits in their own art practice. For this unit, I created 3 pieces. The image in the top right corner is my Dada collage, where pieces were glued exactly where they landed. The bottom left corner is my final project for Lesson 2, incorporating the element of chance and determining the final composition of the collage. For Lesson 3, based on so much of what I read during this class about the importance of instructors taking risks alongside their students, I decided to make a piece about mental health issues in our society and to take a risk by personalizing the piece to address my own struggles with anxiety. The top left image is a close-up of the image in the bottom right. The piece is made with watercolors, ink, vellum, and thread. During Lesson 2, we'll talk about Arturo Herrera, Claire B. Jones, and Lorna Simpson, as well as Jean Hans Arp's Untitled, Collage with Squares Arranged According to the Law of Chance. Pictured here is Claire B. Jones in an installation view of her exhibit, A Perception of Failure, at the gallery I work at. With this exhibit, Jones included a statement next to each sculpture about what she felt were its flaws and how it failed to meet her original objective. During Lesson 3, we'll talk about Olafur Eliasson's Ice Watch installation, Adrian Brandon's Stolen series, Brenda Mallory, and James Lavador. Pictured here is James Lavador and one of his pieces titled This Good Land. Lavador's art is highlighted because of how he expresses his cultural values through both his art-making process and his finished art pieces. As a result of students taking this class, I truly hope they will see the studio habits of mind as tools to help them with their artistic practice. I hope they will see that as artists, we have to allow ourselves to take chances, play, and experiment, and that failure is okay and part of the artistic process. I also hope students see that art has power and that artists can use their work to address important issues facing our society. Thank you for watching my presentation.